to the show, everyone. I'm Sherri Horner, your host at healthfitnessbroadcast.com. Today, our topic is Pilates, and my guest is from Boulder, Colorado, Kahn, and she is a Pilates Fitness Expert, Master Trainer, and Educator. Welcome to the show, June.
Thank you very much, Sherri. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
And I want to say kind of welcome back to the show. Even though we have never done a full interview, we did a mini one at a fitness conference in 2005 where I met you originally. And I had taken one of your Pilates classes, which was totally awesome. And so today we're going to dig in and talk a little bit deeper about the benefits of Pilates and some other things. So
Sure.
I have a few questions. First of all, how's Pilates changed how you move in your everyday life? And, you know, you or anyone, how can Pilates?
Well, I like to use me as an example, primarily because I'm 61. And being 61, I attribute to my ability to continue to do what I do on Pilates. It has allowed me to become more flexible. It's allowed me to remain more conscious of my movement, my own personal movement throughout the day. So take, for example, if I go out for a run, I can actually feel the activity that's going on in the center of my core. And it actually came to me one day when I'm like, wow, it really is working. That Pilates does really work. And it's not just that. It's that when I teach a class in front of a mirror, I can actually see my arms and my legs have that much more elongation. And the movement quality that I know I possessed years ago, because I was a dancer years ago, has improved greatly. But I want to say more importantly than anything else, is when we get older, joints get stiff, joints get, back starts to bother me. I can honestly say that even if I do wake up with a stiff back or a stiff knee or whatever, all I have to do is go downstairs and kind of do a few Pilates movements, some foundational movements, and my body feels like a million bucks. It's just amazing. So it has kept me pliable. I'm a grandma. I have no problem getting on the floor playing with my grandkids, and I don't ever remember my grandparents doing things like that. So it has helped me in my personal life as much as it has helped me grow in my business, because I'm still able to do what I'm able to do at 61. And I remember years ago, my husband at the time had said to me, he goes, what do you expect to do at the age of 60? You know what? I actually told him this recently when we actually had met him, said, honey, I'm still doing this.
Yeah.
And it's because I'm active in it. So that's how it truly has helped me amazingly. So I don't go a day without it. That's the honest truth. I do a little bit of it every single day.
It's great. And I believe that too. And we're talking about older people, grandparents. Yes, back when we had our grandparents were our age, I didn't remember seeing anybody walking or running or
right
chasing the kids around the yard or anything. It was,
no,
God
it's so
forgive
different.
me, but it was the rocking chair era for,
Yes.
and
then allowing, like, having the grandkids jump up to your lap rather than you going down to be at the child's level. And I have no issues with that. I have an 18-month-old grandson, a 3-year-old grandson, and I get on the floor with them. And it's every time I go, they know that. And they actually are on the floor. Come on, Grandma June, let's do this again, and it's kind of fun. And it's thrilling to be able to be part of that, so to speak. And Pilates has definitely helped me with that.
Pilates keeps you young, right?
Yes, absolutely. Totally agree.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So
without youth.
You have taught so many people over the years. How many years have you been teaching Pilates, and how many years have you been a master trainer and educator for Pilates?
Okay. So Pilates has been in my life forever because I was a former dancer. So that was part of my dance training before I even knew what truly Pilates was. But as far as teaching is concerned, I didn't get actually certified until probably in the early to mid 1990s. So that's when I probably primarily taught it. So I've been teaching, oh my gosh, more years than I can count. I'm going to say probably actively since probably 1995 to the present time, and actively teaching that time. As far as being a master trainer, I started in the industry in 1980, but started becoming a master trainer in 1989. So I was a Reebok master trainer, the global Reebok master training team, which was incredible, and which is actually the organization that got me back into Pilates, because in 1995, they started bringing on a program called Reebok Flexible Strength. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but that was a reintroduction to the world of mind body into the fitness industry when that didn't even exist at that time. So that's where it started getting reintroduced. And that's where my love of it came right back, jumped into it, and gone from there. So it's
Yeah,
been a while.
it's great. Everything you've done is great. But I want to ask you about apparatus.
Okay.
Your favorite and why?
Okay. For those of you who don't know much about Pilates, there's a number of pieces of apparatus that Joseph Pilates created. There's the reformer, there's the Cadillac, there's the chair, there's also the pedipole, there's the mat, and there's tons of little toys that we play with as well. My absolute most favorite is the chair. And you'll probably ask me why. And the
Right.
reason I say why is because when you look at all the other apparatuses, the surface area is quite large because it has to be able to accommodate someone lying down or being face down or whatever. But the chair is minimal. The surface area is about this big.
Yeah.
So why is that my favorite? Because I believe in giving exercise or having my clients work with exercise that simulates what they do in real life. Because Pilates is about, conscious exercise while you're doing it, but we want to achieve subconscious results that you can take with you when you go out the door. So on a chair, you are so more upright than you are on the reformer and the Cadillac. Not to say that either one of those are bad, because they're great.
Right.
It's just the fact that you are consistently in a position where you're in tune with doing what you're going to have to do when you walk out the door. Hence why I like that. It's very challenging. When I say challenging, I don't mean that it's impossible at all. It's challenging to the core in that it makes you move so much different. So that's my favorite. Excuse me, there's my scarf. My most favorite piece of equipment. And there are a number of different chairs out there. My favorite is it's labeled the MVE chair, designed by Joan Breitbart, who is the president of, she's brilliant, and she designed it to a more contemporary format for the more contemporary person. That's my favorite piece of equipment. So
Okay,
there you go.
great. Say that again, so in case anyone's taking notes.
It's the M, capital VE chair, and it's actually available through Peak, P-E-A-K, Pilates, and it was designed by Joan Breitbart, who is the president of the Physical Mind Institute, who created the very first Pilates certification, and whom I'm so honored to say I'm certified through. So
Excellent.
great piece of equipment. Yes.
So let me ask you this. If you could say something about why someone should do Pilates, what would you say?
One sentence. I can tell you one sentence.
Okay.
Because Pilates makes you better at everything you do, no matter what you do, no matter what your career is, no matter whether you're a housewife at home with children, whether you're someone who sits at a desk all day, whether you're a professional athlete, and I've worked with many of those as well. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're a senior, if you're a child, everyone can benefit from Pilates because it makes you better at doing what you need to do to get through your daily life. That's why I think it's so important. I think it's more of a you need to do it than it is why do I think it's important. There isn't a person out there that shouldn't be doing it. So there you have it.
Men, women of all
Men,
ages.
women, children, seniors. And interestingly enough, Sherri, I also work in a clinical setting. I work in a doctor's office. And in addition to all those others, it's great for rehab. So there's your other element. So those people that are, going through some injuries, knee injuries, shoulder injuries, hip injuries, or even recovering from surgery, we are the person that comes after the physical therapist. So Pilates practitioners are trained for that. So it really suits everyone. It's just a form of a workout that builds through dynamic motion, builds more functional strength and moves the body the way it's supposed to move. So
Now, I want to ask you a question that I don't know the answer to, and I apologize that I don't know the answer
okay.
to this question because I should. Do you have a Pilates DVD that you've produced?
That I have personally produced, I have two on the market that I produced on the apparatus. The other DVDs, I've done a number of DVDs, but they have been produced by other organizations such as IDEA
Right.
or SCW Fitness. So yes, I created the content. I am in the DVD. Did I personally produce them? No. The two that I personally produced were the ones that were designed for the apparatus. So I do have two,
Okay.
and I have over 17 on the market.
Okay.
However, they're not all produced by me.
Okay. So again, I apologize because I should know that.
That's okay.
So is there anywhere that anyone could find that DVD and purchase it? Where would
Yes, at
they
my
go?
website.
Oh,
They can
okay.
do that on my website.
JuneCon.com, and I will have that link below.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So in
Yes, they
case
can.
anyone wants to
Perfect.
get in
Yeah.
touch with you or purchase a
Perfect.
DVD.
Yes.
And darn, I want to try it. Yeah, try that
It's
DVD.
awesome.
I mean, I have taken your class, but
That's
yeah,
okay.
I
I
want to
get
see you every day, June. I want to see you every day.
it.
But
Thank you.
yeah, have
Oh,
my coffee, watch you, and then do the Pilates with you. Okay, so have another. Well, so it benefits everyone. We talked about it's good for men, women, and everyone. Is there in for rehab? But is there anyone that it they should ask their doctor or think twice, or is there anyone that Pilates just may not be right for at a present moment?
I really don't think so, unless their doctor has specifically told them that because of a injury that they're dealing with, they can't do a specific motion. But as far as, as we all know, as fitness professionals, you should always have a clean bill of health and allowing a doctor to say that it's okay to exercise. If a doctor says it's okay to exercise, honestly, I think it's either Pilates or yoga you should start with
Right.
because
I
they
agree.
establish the foundation. And in as much as fitness in general is so great for everyone, as we know, we want to have a strong foundation to enable ourselves to withstand the resistance that we're going to be placing upon the body. So, no, I don't think there's anyone that's not, unless they're specifically told by a physician that they shouldn't be doing X, Y, or Z. And that could be involving spinal flexion, spinal extension, or anything else. But when a doctor is telling someone to stay clear of a movement, it's usually because they're healing from something, and that maybe for the first few weeks they shouldn't, but after that, there's no reason why anybody shouldn't be doing it. Nope.
Okay, good deal. What I want to jump ahead. Most people know what Pilates is and yoga, but we're covering a lot of
Yes.
things for
Uh-huh.
those that know and do, and those who have never heard of it. But
Right.
back to you mentioned Joseph Pilates, the creator of Pilates. If you could go back in time and ask him a question, what would you ask him?
Can I tell you that in my afterlife, I hope I meet up with this man because he was a genius. And you imagine in 1920 coming up with a concept that is still so popular today. It's amazing. And I hope I do. And one of the questions I probably would ask him is, what was your inspiration? And probably more so, I'd want to say, what do you think of where Pilates has gone today? Because if you think about it, Pilates was not popular in his time. I mean,
Right.
he died in the 1960s. So I would love to hear what he feels of everything that goes on. How proud is he? Is there anything different that he would apply? Because I believe if he was alive today, oh my gosh, could you imagine where Pilates would be? I mean, it would just be off the roof because this man was the most creative, eccentric, um, incredible human being of
Hmm.
his time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd want to know what was his source of inspiration
Yeah.
and what do you think of what everything has gone on now? I mean, do you approve? Do you not approve? And so forth. I think that would be it.
That's good. Those are two good questions. Would you want to spend the day with him? I
Oh,
mean, everybody has somebody they would love to just follow around for the day. Would you do that?
yes, I would, because I would like to see the techniques that he incorporated, and I would like to see him work with a number of different people. So, why did he do this with one person? And why did he choose to do this with another person? And what did you see that I may not have seen? Because he had a very critical mind and a great analyzing mind. So he could take a look at someone and say, you know, this is what's wrong and this is what we need to do. And, ballet dancers, they went to him because they were injured. So he would work with ballet dancers with ankle injuries, with back injuries, with shoulder injuries. He was a genius in neck injuries and those afflicted with neurological disorders. And this man had no college education. So he had the most innate ability to understand the human body and how it moves because he studied it so well with whatever was available to him at the time. We have to remember that when he created his progressions, the fitness industry did not exist.
Right.
The only thing that existed was yoga because it's 5,000 years old, right? And he had the circus, he had boxing, he had, they call it football in Europe, but it was soccer. Anything else that was going on at its time, he studied profoundly. And he studied through observation of movement, but more importantly, how the spinal column was affected in every single movement. So he just knew. I would follow him around all day. I'd be in awe, absolute awe.
Now,
Because
you mentioned yoga, which I'm a big promoter of yoga 'cause I'm a yoga teacher.
yes, of course.
But what is the difference between yoga and Pilates? How can you sum that
Um,
up?
but question that's asked all the time. Conceptually, they're really similar because they're all based on mindful movement, but there is a difference. Got to remember, Joseph studied yoga a bit because he took many of some of his movements and incorporated that into his discipline. Number one, yoga is a practice. I'm going to start with that. It's a practice, it's a discipline, but Pilates is also a discipline. And yoga takes a more holistic approach and allows one to go through movement and increase flexibility of range of motion through poses, where Pilates is more of a progressive series of exercises that can probably be identified more as a workout, where we know it's a practice, but if you think about what the differences are, it is more continuous movement. So there probably is more fluidity of movement. Not probably, there is more fluidity of movement in yoga, as that was one of his principles, was fluid movement. But one of the main differences is the fact that yoga has more of a spiritual and meditative component that doesn't incorporate into Pilates. Yet they carry the same focus of mind, body, and centering techniques. Yoga, meditative, Pilates, more powerhouse. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So breath is used in both. However, breath is used differently. So in yoga, as you know, we take that breath and use the breath to get more into flexibility. In Pilates, we use the breath for strength and to power through the movements.
Speaking
So
of,
there,
oh,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead. You can
Well,
go ahead.
speaking of strength, would you consider Pilates a strength workout?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's both. You can't exclude flexibility with it. It is absolutely a strength training program. I know a lot of people, I used to work for a club that I will not name any names, but you know how membership would come in and show, take a tour of the club, and they would say, "Oh, this is a Pilates room. This is where you come and stretch." And I'd have to say, "Can you come on in here for a moment so I can give you a little bit more
Right.
information about how this program works?" Because this is also a strength program. Pilates, there's no question, it's a strength and flexibility program that builds foundational functional strength through the powerhouse, building a balance of strength to flexibility to opposing muscle groups. But one main difference between Pilates and yoga is the fact that Pilates spends more time in spinal flexion, and yoga tends to spend more time in back extension.
Right.
It's spinal extension, I should say. Both are great. They both complement each other, but we see that a lot. Now, in Pilates, we do a lot of body weight training. So when you're working on the mat, the strength component comes in the body weight training. When you're working on the machines, now you've got resistance, you have added resistance, but we work it differently because we're in traditional fitness methods. We focus on acceleration in terms of building strength. Pilates emphasizes more deceleration, slowing down the carriage as it comes in, which reacts more to building more core strength in the center of the body. So absolutely, it's a strength training program. In fact, I usually tell people, take Pilates and you'll find out how strong you're not.
Yes, I like that.
And I
Yeah.
do that a lot with my professional athletes because
Yep.
they can't realize just how strong they may be in their extremities, but they may not have the core strength to support what they have to withstand. So Pilates builds stamina more than anything else in those core muscles. And
And
I
what
think
you
that's
said with
important.
your athletes, both
Mhm.
Pilates and yoga are very complementary to any sport to
Absolutely.
to
Yes.
enhance your sport, whatever it is.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, so Pilates. How often should somebody do Pilates, whether they're new to exercise or whether they're an athlete?
Okay.
How many? How
As
often?
with any exercise program, in order for us to really see results, we have to be, let me use this quote, we create mastery through repetition of the process, right? So once a week is good. Because some people can only get in once a week, but 2 to 3 times a week is better. It's a strength training program, as we've already just spoke about. So there has to be a good 24 to 48 hours between each workout, like anything else. So ideally, 3 to 4 times a week. minimally 1 time a week. A beginner is going to be doing that same suggestion. However, they're going to be doing it at a different level. So they're going to be doing more of the foundational program because the beauty of Pilates is that it's very modifiable for anyone. That's why we say Pilates is for everybody. So they're going to be able to work through their basic progressions, build upon them as they progress, and they get stronger.
Good, good. Thank you so much. It's about time for us to go, but before
Okay.
we go, it's time to show Sherri your shoe. So what's your
Okay.
favorite shoe?
As much as I love my sneakers and my, clogs that I wear when I work out, I do have a shoe fetish. And
Yeah.
this is my favorite style. As you can see, it's
Sweet. Now
very
hold it up a
feminine.
little higher.
Can you lift it a little? Can
There
you
it
see?
is.
Okay,
Perfect.
there it is. So,
Beautiful.
yeah, look at the heel. Can I wear this every single day? Absolutely not. But there's
On
nothing more
special
sexier than
occasion.
a high heel shoe for me, for a woman. And the T-strap is an indication of my past to me because I was a dancer, and a dancer, we always wear T-strap shoes.
Sweet.
And
Now,
then there's the color.
being a dancer at heart, is that what inspired you to move into Pilates? Is that what attracted you to?
Probably, I will say yes. So I was a dancer from my mother. I can only thank my mom, God rest her soul, who put me in a dance class at the age of 3, and I never stopped dancing until the age of, 21 or whatever. But she gave me that inspiration. But this is me. When I go to when I, do you remember the show Sex and the City? Oh my gosh, I was just so enthralled with all those shoes. Do I wear these on a daily basis? Absolutely not. Wearing them tonight. We have a Christmas party tonight, so I'm
Nice.
wearing them this
Nice,
evening.
nice.
But they do have to come off after a few hours. But
Mhm.
my favorite. Don't they look very feminine?
Oh,
Yes.
beautiful. Yeah, I like it.
That is
It's
my
nice.
favorite shoe. That's
They're
very
red, but
indication.
they're not too red. So beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful.
Yes. Thank
Well, I
you.
have to show you my favorite for today, and
Okay.
I haven't shown this one yet. This is a Sketcher like slip-on,
Oh, how cool.
and I
Yeah.
usually this is not my type of shoe, but I have to tell you, I bought these. They're very comfortable, but I bought them for a few years ago when I had surgery, and I knew it was same day surgery. I knew that afterwards I was going to have to put my shoes on, so that's why I bought these so I could just slip them on
Oh, they're
and
great. And they
leave.
look
But
comfy as could
I
be.
have worn them a lot since then, and they're very soft
Oh,
and they're made by Skechers, so
good.
I'm a Sketcher fan. I'm
So
a
am I.
fan of
I am too.
Nike and
Oh,
Asics too, but yeah, Skechers like will come out with things like that, and I'm like, okay, and they win me back,
yeah.
and I haven't bought any for a while, and then they'll win me back with a new one. So
Oh, that's
thank
good.
you so much for all your
Oh, thank you.
information. It
Thank
was
you.
great talking with you again, and we'll talk again soon, hopefully.
Absolutely.
And I'll have your contact information below. So if you want to contact June Kahn, her information will be below. And if you are a health or fitness professional and you would like to be a contributor to our show, please contact me. And thank everyone for watching. Please share this video if you like it and subscribe. Thanks.
Thank you.